Hello, everybody. Welcome to my talk. My name is Jong-mi Kim from Kangwon National University, Republic of Korea. And my talk today is about phono-onomastics of brand names. And in particular, I would like to address the question, what makes brand names sound and look good? Hi, I would like to first point out trends of brand names, and I would like to point out two facts. Number one, English brand names in USA are made of long words. Coca-Cola, Abercrombie and Fitch. This is longer than Image, Orion, Marble, and Trend. Number two, English brand names in Korea use easy English words. These are easy English words. And brand names from USA has sound translation, and it's good for brand identity. And brand names in domestic Korea use easy English words, and it's easy to remember for international consumers. And it's good for conveying brand emotion because these are real English words. And these two facts will raise the issue that how we can make brand names to sound and look good. And I will address the claim that brand names are recommended to have common English words with 5 consonants or less. So short and real English words. Then I would like to answer the question why we want to posit upper limit 5 letters, because unmarked sounds are made of 2 syllables or 3 light syllables. And many languages in the world allow 1 consonant in onset and coda of a syllable. So maximal 5 consonants would be 2 plus 2 plus 1 consonants. Then second question, why do we want common English words? Because English is taught as an international language. And common English real words can convey brand emotion because it's meaningful to people in the world, non-native speakers. I will first discuss what phono-onomastics is. And then I will discuss brand identity and emotion. And then I will discuss the data from Korean to English, English to Korean, English to Chinese. And I will summarize what the data means. What is phono-onomastics? I would like to define the term as the study of sound patterns in names and naming. For this phono-onomastics, we deal with syllable numbers, consonant numbers, vowel and consonant choices, and orthographic adaptation. As for syllable numbers, the unmarked syllable numbers are 2 syllables or 3 light syllables. And for consonant numbers, unmarked consonant numbers are 5 consonants or less, as I explained before. And vowel and consonant choices, unmarked vowels and consonants are the common letters you usually see. And for orthographic adaptation, you use English common words at the outset. And from here, I would like to use number 2 and number 4 to support my claim that brand names are recommended to have common English words with 5 consonants or less. Why do I want to deal with English, Chinese, and Korean? because there are orthographic differences. So brand names must be registered in different language. English is Indo-European and sound-based language. Chinese is Sino-Tibetan and meaning-based language. And Korean is Altaic and sound and meaning-based language. So, and brand names must be translated, usually between English and Korean sound translation, Korean and Chinese meaning translation, and English and Chinese sound or meaning translation. And this complicated language situation will lead to answer the preferred brand names, which is to be common English words with 5 consonants or less. Let us address again, why do we want to limit consonant numbers? Because there are syllable structure differences between languages. English is a language which allows lots of consonants in onset and coda position. So there are 3 onset consonants allowed in onset position of English and 4 consonants allowed in coda position of English. So strike, str, and text, ks, ts. Whereas Korean and Chinese syllable structure allow only 1 single consonant in onset position and 1 single consonant in coda position. Japanese has molar structure and it allows only 1 consonant in onset and basically no consonant in coda position. So what happens is that English brand names will be lengthened by inserted vowels between consonant clusters by these non-native speakers. So this one address my claim that brand names are recommended to have common English words with 5 consonants or less. Let's move to the discussion of brand identity and emotion. For brand identity and emotion, let me mention about country of origin effect. English brand labels are preferred. And this picture is from Ewan and Jong, and they tested Korean subjects, and they preferred English labeled orange juice to Korean labeled orange juice. But I'm not sure if it is country of origin effect, because I tested Korean preferred brands. It's about cosmetic surgery clinics. And I would like to make a new claim that this is to target international consumers, not really to hide country of origin. Well, is this really country of origin effect? No, I don't think so, because Korean cosmetic surgery clinics are Korean origin. Their names are in English, like Best Members Visual Secret, Image, Trend, Point, Palace, all made of 5 consonants or less, all made of 2 syllables or 3 light syllables, all used common English words. So my new claim is that this is to target international consumers, not really to hide the country of origin. And this one also supports my major claim that brands names are recommended to have common English words with 5 consonants or less. What does common words have to do with brand emotion? To keep brand identity, we would like sound translation, like Goldman Sachs, McDonald's, Estée Lauder. The identity should just be transferred by the same sound. On the other hand, brand emotion needs meaning, needs to convey meaning. So the words like benefit, Subway, Pizza Hut, clinic, they have some meaning. And if it's a foreign word, you will need the translation. So from the outset, you try to use easy common English words. Then why do I recommend common English words? Because proper nouns are difficult to remember, and proper nouns are not familiar to foreigners, like Victoria's Secret, Abercrombie & Fitch, Polo Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger. These are very difficult for foreigners to remember. So I recommend to name brands by common English words. So my research questions are the following three questions. Question number 1, are your brands sound translated in Korea? If yes, the brand names are difficult to remember by local people because local people do not speak English, but only Korean in daily life. Chinese people do the same. Question number 2, are US brand names common words to Koreans? If yes, the brand names are easier to remember by local people because local people learn English in schools and Chinese people do the same. Question number 3, are US brand names made of more consonants than Korean and Chinese origin English names? If yes, the brand names are difficult to remember because so long by local people. Local people would insert vowels to end up with lengthier names. Korean, Chinese, Japanese, and many languages in the world allow maximally one consonant in onset or coda position in a syllable. So the claim would be common English words with 5 consonants or less are preferred. Now let us see the data, real name data. And we'll look at Korean brand names in English words, English brand names in Korean letters, and English brand names in Chinese characters. Many Korean brand names are common English words, as much as 69%. 31 names out of 45 names that I collected. And the length is short, average of 3.5 consonants, 2.1 syllables, or 45 names. Therefore, it's easy to remember. You may compare this with USA brand names, and there are only 41% of common English words, and average 5.6 consonants, 3.3 syllables, or 41 names. Korean brand names are exemplified as follows. Top 10, Nerdy, Rolling, Mango 6, No Brand, Our Home, Orion, Best, Members, Visual, Secret, Gallery, Image, Trend, Palace, Yellow, Opera, Point, Grand, Pop, Promise, The Style, Starline, A+, Top Class, I Will. So the claim is that just to use common English words with 5 consonants or less. Is this really country of origin in fact? I don't think so. Korean cosmetic surgery clinics are Korea origin and they don't want to be US origin, for example, but their names are in English, and all names are less than 5 consonants, and all names are less than 2 syllables, and mostly they are made of CV structure in Korean transcription. So the new claim is that the brand names to target international consumers, and my major claim is that brand names are recommended to be common English words with 5 consonants or less. Then let us compare to the US brand names, US-made English brand names sold in Korea. The situation is that not many US brand names are common English words. Just 41%. You may compare this with Korean brands in English, almost 70%. And they are US brand names are very long, average 5.6 consonants, 3.3 syllables for 41 names that I collected. So it's difficult to remember. You may compare this with Korean brand names that we just looked at, made of common English words, 70% were, and they are short, average 3.5 consonants, 2.1 syllables, for 45 names that I collected. So the long examples, Victoria's Secret, Brooks Brothers, Hollister, Calvin Klein, Estee Lauder, Burt's Bees, Kiehl's, Urban Decay, Baskin Robbins, Pepperidge Farms, Pepsi Cola, Auntie Anne's, McDonald's, Panda Express, Texas Roadhouse. So the claim is that brand names are recommended to have common English words with 5 consonants or less. Then let us now move to US brand names sold in China. Let us just recall that not many English brand names from US are common English words. They are just long with average 5.6 consonants, 3.3 syllables, and difficult to remember. And we'll compare from next slide that Chinese brands use short English words in comparison, average 3.4 consonants and 2.2 syllables. Some Chinese brand names are English-like non-Chinese words. They are short and easy to remember. So Bell, Media, Lenovo, Mobike, Tencent, Alibaba. Here, Media, Mobike, Alibaba are not really English words. So it's to target international consumers rather than to have country of origin effect. And Great Wall is translated by meaning, garden is translated by sound, warrior is just transformed to unrelated words. And they are all short and English-like, so just use common English words, easy words, with 5 consonants or less. Now let's discuss what my data means. I would like to answer now our research questions. Question number 1, are US brands sound translated in Korea? Yes, all US brand names are directly converted to Korean alphabet. So the brand names are difficult to remember by local Koreans. Chinese people are the same. Question number 2, are US brand names common words to Koreans? No, they aren't. Thus, The brand names are difficult to remember to local people. Local Chinese or Korean people do not use English in daily life. Question number 3. Are US brand names made of more consonants than Korean or Chinese origin English names? Yes, they are. Thus, brand names are difficult to remember so long by local people. Local people insert vowels inside clusters to end up with even lengthier names. Korean, Chinese, Japanese, and many languages in the world allow maximal one consonant in onset or coda in a syllable. So the claim is that common English words with 5 consonants or less. So what are the implications? Number 1, foreign names do not contain brand emotion. Brand names must contain product-dependent emotion. So brand names must be meaning sensitive. So just use common words in English. And the second implication is that country of origin effect may be incorrect. Rather, it's international brand awareness, because English is international language that people learn in school. So the claim is that use common English words. Applications are already there. Names chosen by sound adaptation are no accident. Chinese business names sound like English words, and the names are short. Bell, Garden, Polly. So my conclusion is that I recommend brand names to have common English words with 5 consonants or less. So name your brand by a common English word with 5 consonants or less. Thank you. Do you have any question?
Thank you, Jong-mi. That was a great presentation. We do have time for a few questions if people have them. I have a question. If you can hear me, and hopefully you can, are there English brand names that are translated in Korean because they're too long? I know you gave examples of names that are transliterated, and you were saying that they're long and hard to pronounce, but are names ever renamed? Are there English brands that have different names in Korea because the English name is too long or too complicated? Oh, interesting. Okay. For those of you following along at home, this is all in the chat. So Ralph Lauren is apparently too long, and it's in Korea, it's called Polo. Is that correct? Am I interpreting that correctly? That's interesting. Huh. Okay. So they didn't rename it completely because that is one of the Ralph Lauren brands. So they took a part of it, got rid of the complicated part, and just kept the simple part. Interesting. Oh, they always put Polo in front. Okay. That is good to know. Okay, that was my question. Anyone else have questions? I'm happy to read out the question and then read out the answer as well. Okay. Well, if there are no more questions, we're going to be moving on to our next moderator and our next speaker in a minute. Thank you again, Jong-mi. That was a super interesting presentation. I look forward to discussing it with you further. I definitely have some more questions about that.